Okay, welcome back to another session of Creating Art Over 70 with Science Rufus. Getting ready to continue on with the next piece here. This piece is going to be a pastel piece. I know when I finished the other sessions, I always said I was going to do some charcoal, and I did do a couple of charcoal pieces um, offline. Had to do a bunch of personal stuff that had to be taken care of, so I wanted to be able to just focus on that and still keep my art going. So I decided not to do any recording, just to do the pieces and go from there. However, I'm going to show you the pieces. The pieces here, as you can see, are a couple of pieces that I did, and I selected one of them as the composition for the next pastel piece. Let me move over to that so you can show you what I'm talking about here. So what I'm talking about here is on this piece and this piece here are a couple of the charcoal pieces I did um, in between the last session and now. And so I chose this one to do the next pastel piece because I really wanted to work out the composition. This wasn't an actual photo. The reference itself looks like this. This is the reference photo for this particular piece. Um, so I was working out a composition on it because I just didn't want to paint it just like that. So this is the composition that we're going to be working on in the pastel painting piece. This one here, I liked it, but I chose to do a scenic thing with the train and some background stuff just to get a feel for a little bit more static type detail, not so organic, except for the background elements. But what I was doing is these charcoal pieces are done on is some construction paper I found here in Rosarito in a little store, and it's a book with about maybe 50 sheets of assorted colors, and it only cost like 50 pesos, and so I wanted to see what I could do with it, and with 50 pesos that's about $2.50. So anyway, so I was using it, and it seemed to work really well. The charcoal really likes the texture of the paper, and it kind of just blends into it and utilizes the colors behind it extremely well with the charcoals. And so I'm gonna continue on, and each sheet has a different color, and so I'm gonna try to pick something that pretty close to that be compatible with that particular color of paper in the meantime. So just moving on here, this is going to be the next pastel painting piece, and this here is the actual reference that we'll be using, and you can see it also up in the upper left hand corner there. I'm going to keep it there. So now, other than that, we have this. This is the color scheme we're going to be working with. I chose some of the colors out of the reference. I tried to get as close as I could to some of the colors out of the reference here, with the oranges and the reddish oranges and the yellow orange colors there. And so I used that, and I'm using this is called like a figure 8 complementary color scheme. And so that's what we're going to use. So we're going to be using a lot of oranges and some yellows and oranges in there, and some blues. We got a hint of some velvety color down in this area, just a hint. But majority of the blue scales, different ranges and things like that. Okay, so that's what's going to be happening with this particular piece. And so, yeah, I think I explained it, and I hope I didn't talk too fast. I want to say, okay. So anyway, what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm gonna do a layout. Let me turn this bit boy off. I have the paper set up here, And so what I want to do, I want to do it on this particular color pastel matte. Trying some new stuff too. I just bought some individual color sheet pastel mats, and it feels like the same texture, and it is from the same manufacturer. So my assumption is that it's going to work just as well as the other pastels that I'm normally used to using. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do some layout work on this piece so I can get my perspectives done. So what I noticed when I was doing the drawing, the charcoal drawing of this piece, to get that composition, I had to adjust some of my perspective lines because it's a bunch of angles in this. You know, we have the horizon kind of going in the middle there, and then we have angles going up, and we have angles going down, both on both sides of the horizon. You know, and both the angles are inside. You know, in the piece of the train. Also, the train is kind of straddling the horizon, let's say, from where I took the reference. It's kind of straddling the horizon, so that's why we got angles going this way and angles going this way on the train, and the tracks, and the rails on the cliff of the composition as we put it together. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell for the next piece of Creating Art Over 70 with Simon Rufus. It's going to be a train pastel painting that the train is coming out of a tunnel cut through a mountain. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. So real quick, what I did here was I just did a little layout of the perspective of the piece that I'm going to be creating here. So I didn't want to spend the time recording that. So anyway, let's just get busy and start painting. Creating Art Over 70, Simon Rufus. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna stop this little session right here. This actually started it last night, yesterday, and worked on a little bit this morning. But I got a couple of things we gotta get done today. So I'm gonna stop this session right here. I may pick it up a little bit later on this evening when I get back. But All I'm doing here is just trying to block in the train. I'm trying to set the train into the composition so that I could work out from that. So once I have the train rooted and I could try to get its little proportions a little closer to the actual reference, um, in this section here is what I'm trying to do here. And so it's not going to look, it's probably not going to be exactly like the reference, but it's going to be close enough to where you can say, okay, that's a train. And it's doing what it does as a train. Okay, so that's what we're working on now. When I come back, I'm gonna continue to block this in. I may start to throw in a little bit of the rest of the composition, like the background area, the mountains. Maybe try to lay out the tunnel area. But what I really wanted to do was to get this portion in here first. So I think I might have to move to the left just a little bit more to get a little longer, get a um, little bit longer in this area, or maybe I can shorten this just a tad more. I think that's the gist of it. I think I might have to come in here and just shorten this some more to get the longness that I want, so I don't run out of room on this side because of the borders and the framing section. So I think I'm going to have to do this to get a little bit more there. And so this here elongated piece is pretty much the same as this here elongated piece is the best I can. Um, it look to be about the same length when you look at the reference. So we'll see. Even though this section kind of goes off into the headed into the horizon area, kind of into the distance. And this is more, this portion of the train is a little closer to us than this section. So anyway, that's what we're trying to do here, is get this laid in, and I'm going to stop this session right here, and we come back maybe this evening and continue on from here. Thank you so much for watching Creating Order Over 70 with Sign Rufus. Blessings.